Yeah, I'm excited to see this Ketrock match.
Yeah, definitely
Me-
want to see this one.
Is this with the Banshee harass in or no?
Yeah, it's with the Banshee Harassment.
Sweet.
Otherwise, it would have been a 40-minute match to beat Sharpened because once I face Tempest, it's a long time.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you create a no man's land and you start building Vikings.
Oh, there's a
Okay,
guy in chat saying that the link for the Discord invite is expired.
Okay, 1 second. Thank you. I'll take care of that.
Brilliant.
I think it's the way to make a link that doesn't expire, right?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, that's in your received.
Hey, Raph, how's it going?
What's
Oh
going on
yeah,
with
the
Mike?
invites are expiring. Okay.
Oh, this is the biggest thing that I've added to my bot too. It was such a simple thing, I never had it. Was to chase these probes. Sharpened Edge probe used to come in and get like 6 worker kills, and sometimes force me to cancel a structure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember you talked about it. Oh, Raf, nice man. Do you want to tell us about it? What did they ask you to do? What did they ask you about? How did it go? Raf just mentioned in chat that he just finished a last interview for a job he's looking for.
I think perhaps we should choose the company that is willing to give us a little bit server time to run the AI read.
Okay, so there are 3 companies which I personally heard of only lock me in. I assume you have many reasons why, not only the salary, but the work is more interesting to you and the conditions maybe, stuff like that. At least that's what's important for me when
You
I'm looking
mentioned
for a
one of
job.
them is the one that builds the robotic arm on the space station,
Oh, wow.
which may or may not be interesting, but it certainly sounds interesting.
Yeah, I just wrote that in chat. Mind me, you can chat on YouTube and read responses on the screen.
Wait, we have a space station orbiting the moon? Is that real?
No, it's for the future, he was saying.
Oh, okay, okay.
Will be.
Oh, this is the Banshee harass?
Yeah.
So there's one going north right now to swing around counterclockwise, and then the clockwise one is already in the natural.
There's no anti-air for the Sharpened Edge at the moment, or is it? Not at least in his base.
We don't see
he's,
production, but
not really dealing with it.
yeah, then I would like to see like an example of how your bot deals with difficulties when someone is holding the bench heroes. How it adapts or how it looks for the weak spots.
Yeah, this isn't the best example, I guess. But
Sharpened Edge will just try to kill Ketrock's base while it still has our army for it.
yeah, I don't have much army yet. Just probably a couple Vikings and my defensive stuff like the siege tank and planetaries.
those planetaries are doing really good job to defending your base.
Which one? Okay, so we now know. When Raf just told us about all three options, I'll just read it for whoever is too lazy to read chat. The second one is to use NLP on text generated from video conferences. For whoever doesn't know watching, NLP is natural language processing. It's the way we use machine learning to interpret spoken language. Or I wouldn't call it the way, but it's the go-to library. It's not, yeah, I guess a go-to library for that. And the third one Raf is talking about is to do AI on surveillance cameras. I would go with the NLP one, at least that's, or the NASA one. That's also cool, but if I had to choose, the NLP one sounds interesting to me as well.
I think the Banshee is doing great job against those stalkers. It really tries to avoid contact with them.
Yeah, like this Banshee we're looking at is he wants to be attacking the natural right now, but he gets pushed off and he finds new targets, and he's like, "Oh, there's some probes over here. Let me kill this," and then
Yeah, that's nice.
so the way it
Kepler.
swings around is pretty good, and he gets
That's
home
nice.
scot-free to repair.
I also like that it takes bigger steps, it seems, than other Banshee macros I've seen. Like the Banshee is not moving a millimeter every time. It moves like,
Yeah, it's trying to keep the momentum up.
yeah, exactly.
I also like it's way faster too than normal bots because it doesn't do full pathfinding. I'm not like finding a solution to a path. I'm just finding a beginning. So I'm just like, what direction looks safe? Let me try going this way and see what happens, rather than let me map out my course to the final location.
Yeah, that's very elegant. I love that.
So it's faster, and then just by fluke, I think it ended up being better as well because rather than getting like in like a position where it's stuck, like it's a queen, so it just keeps moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It like swings around and then finds like a new target. That wasn't even intended. It just kind of worked out that way.
And you don't really have to worry about pathfinding with flying units in that sense, because there are no unpathable cells for them.
Yeah.
So
I
you
don't think
just
that'll
need.
be a big step though to do for ground units. I mean, there's just the one more map I need to check, which is a pathing map. Maybe there's some difficulties that'll come with it, but I'm pretty confident I can apply this to maybe Hellion Harass next.
Oh, really? Nice. Because if you don't use a whole path, I can see how the Hellions will corner themselves into an unpathable.
I think that's inevitable. That's always going to happen. But as long as they're not cornering themselves, right? If the other units force them into a corner, then that's fine.
Well, they could corner themselves with like 2 steps of like 2 steps before realizing there is no further to go.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. It may not perform well without a more in depth, a deeper
I think.
pathfind. Yeah.
Yeah, I think your your solution is so elegant because of that fact that air units don't worry about non-pathables. It's a great idea. I'm going to apply it myself.
I
Because you
do
don't.
use something similar like this. What I found, the map corners are really difficult spots. They have tendency to get stuck there when there's some enemy units blocking the way out of there. So there's only small way out, and my Banshees don't find the small way out.
Your Banshee don't find?
Don't find. Yeah, they have tendency to get stuck in the corner and will be killed there eventually.
Yeah, I still have an issue I need to debug that when my bot gets pushed against the edge of the map. Say there's like a missile turret near the edge of the map and my bot tries to swing behind it but then can't find the space. It just kind of wiggles back and forth. Doesn't get
Yeah.
in or
Sharpenets doesn't have any workers basically left.
yeah, you can see that one Banshee is highlighted is up to 56 worker kills right now.
Oh man. That's a lot of value for one Banshee.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Another nice
great.
thing is this is my main army is Cloak Banshee as well. It really stresses bots that rely on mobile detectors. Because if I got like one Cloak Banshee on one base, another Cloak Banshee on another base, and then a bunch of Cloak Banshees coming up the middle, and you only got like one or two observers, where does the observer go?
Yeah,
How do you
exactly.
handle like a couple cannons in each mineral line? Would your Banshees even go in or just
It
dance
stays out of the
out?
range of the cannons and does what it can.
So if the cannons are covering it perfectly, the Banshee will not deal any damage?
If it's covering it perfectly, but they may end up like weaving off and finding somewhere else to do damage. When I play against the insane AI, they love to like just build tons of stack defense everywhere, and my Banshees still find a lot of damage. So I don't think any of our bots will ever build as many cannons as the Blizzard AI one does.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I mean, you could have a flock of 10 Banshees that can one-shot a cannon, but if they're coded to avoid cannons,
Oh, for my main
they...
army, yeah, it's it makes a judgment call based on how much threat there is around the cannon and how many Banshees there are. So I think it's like 3 Banshees will go in to kill a cannon, but obviously if there's a bunch of stalkers nearby, it might wait till it has more.
Yeah, okay, so if you have 2 harassing Banshees that could, let's say, kill 6 or 7 workers while taking damage but not dying to a cannon,
My harassing
do
Banshees
they...
will just always avoid the cannons. They'll never
Yeah, they
choose to
won't...
go in. Yeah.
Okay. Because that's
But
an
my main
interesting
block will
decision
kill
to
them off.
make.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. I mean, Micro Machines Banshee sometimes tries to take fights. Like
Not
he's there
take
to
fight,
harass, but if he
just
sees like a single stalker, he'll try to kill the stalker.
it's
Mine
more
finds
like
out to do that.
endure damage while you deal economic damage and then go back to repair.